in the heart of a noisy modern city where the sun struggled to reach the narrow streets. A young boy named Daniel walked with a small backpack and tired eyes. He was only 16, but life had already taught him how to survive in a world that rarely showed mercy. Every morning, he sold bottled water at the bus terminal, running between cars, smiling at strangers who rarely noticed him. He wasn't saving for luxury, he was saving for something far greater. His mother's medicine, the one thing that kept her alive. Back home, in a small broken down room at the edge of the city, Daniel's mother, Martha, lay in bed. Her body was weak, but her smile, still full of warmth, gave Daniel strength. "Daniel, did you eat?" she whispered softly. He smiled. "Not yet, Mama. I'll eat after you take your medicine." He said that every night, but most times there was no medicine left. The doctor had warned if she didn't continue her treatment, she wouldn't last the month. But Daniel couldn't let her know that. He couldn't let her lose hope. One afternoon, as Daniel stood near a construction site selling water, he overheard two men talking. They needed a cleaner, low pay, long hours, heavy work. Without thinking twice, Daniel ran toward them. "Sir, please, I can work. I'll do anything." They laughed at first. His hands were small, his body thin, but one of them saw something in his eyes: determination. "Be here tomorrow by 6, the man said. "Don't be late." That night, Daniel knelt beside his sleeping mother and whispered, "Mama, I got a new job. Soon you'll be okay again." The following weeks were brutal. Daniel worked at the construction site all day, hauling sand, carrying bricks, until his arms trembled. When evening came, he sold water again at the terminal. His hands bled, his feet blistered, but he never complained. At night, he counted coins by candlelight, whispering to himself, "Just a little more, Mama. Just a little more." One night, his mother woke up and saw him still awake. "Daniel, you're still a child. You shouldn't have to live like this." He smiled softly. "No, Mama. You raised me with love. Now it's my turn to care for you." One evening, while selling water at a traffic light, a black car stopped beside him. The window rolled down. An older man looked out, Mr. Roberts, a wealthy businessman. "Young man," he asked kindly, "you're here every day. Why don't you rest?" "I'm saving for my mother's treatment, sir," Daniel said quietly. Mr. Roberts said nothing more, but his eyes lingered, thoughtful, moved. The next morning, Daniel received a call. He was to report to Mr. Roberts' office, not as a cleaner, but as a personal assistant. That day, Daniel's life began to change. Under Mr. Roberts' guidance, Daniel learned quickly how to use a computer, how to speak with confidence, how to believe in himself. He was disciplined, honest, and endlessly grateful. Within months, his income grew enough to move his mother into a better apartment. He restarted her full treatment. Each evening, he sat beside her bed telling her stories from work. Mama, he'd say, Mr. Roberts believes in me. I think maybe my life is changing. She smiled softly. Danielle, she whispered, you've given me my life back. No, Mama, he smiled. You gave me the strength to fight for it. Years passed. Daniel worked harder than ever. He earned trust, respect, and love from everyone at the company. Mr. Roberts saw in him the son he never had. One day, he called Daniel into his office. Daniel, he said, you're no longer my assistant. You're the new manager. Tears filled Daniel's eyes. He never forgot where he came from. Every year he returned to the same bus terminal where he once sold water, this time giving food, school supplies, and hope to other children. He named his foundation Martha's Hope. When journalists asked about his success, Daniel smiled. Everything I am today began with my mother's smile. Sometimes the greatest wealth isn't money, it's love, faith, and the courage to keep going when everything seems lost. A poor boy who had nothing but determination and a mother's love changed his destiny. Daniel's story reminds us no matter how dark life feels, sacrifice, faith, and kindness can turn pain into purpose. The world doesn't need more rich men. The narrator's voice fades softly. It needs more hearts like Daniel's.